Hey Space Nerds, my name is Anthony England. I am the creator of Tiny Space Academy and sole developer at 4-Bit Games. This game will be coming out on March 26th, which is this Friday, so just a few days away. I'm excited to show with you some gameplay today. I'm going to create a small series of me visiting Mars, creating a colony. Today I will be sending a large rover to Mars. Let's go ahead and get started. Alright, we start out here in our assembly area. Let's go ahead and start making our rover that we're going to send to Mars. So I am going to, this is the rover, large rover command module. I'm going to add let's add a science module because we want to do some science on the planet. Let's add a battery or two. And then let's add a fuel tank. Because what we can do is we can convert the fuel that we have into electricity, so that will power our rover. Let's also add a small fuel cell, so let's throw that in there as well. Alright, we're going to add a mining drill so we can mine while we're there. You know what, I'm going to trade that out. I'm going to get a slightly different fuel tank so it all looks nice and aligned. Here we go. I'm also going to add a small satellite dish because I just like the way they look. In this game, satellite dishes do also add some bonus science points if you're playing campaign. Right now I'm in sandbox, so it doesn't really do much, but it has a cool look. Let's go ahead and just move that entire thing over right there in the center. Let's add our rover wheels. Let's grab the big one. Rotate that. Let's see how that looks. I want to have good clearance. Right about there. And I'm probably going to try to put two wheels. Let's just copy that. Duplicate. So maybe something like that, maybe. Yep, don't want to duplicate. Let's stop that. Stop that. Let's go ahead and slide this forward a little bit. There you go. That looks pretty good. Let's do a quick test just to make sure everything looks right and feels right. Let's go to our wheels, turn those on. So we have our mining drill, we have our medium science module, plenty of batteries, and our fuel cell that we can use to convert this fuel that we get from the mining drill into power. Oh. Interesting. I'm a little top heavy right there. Alright, I think that will work for Mars. So, now here comes the challenge. This thing's pretty heavy, right? Way heavier than a typical lander or capsule. So we have to figure out some way to land this bad boy. I'm going to add some decouplers. Let's go ahead and move that one to the edge there. So what I'm thinking is that we'll have some fuel tanks where we will shoot down some thrust. That looks kind of ugly. Let's do something a little bit prettier. Those ones probably won't be enough power to slow our descent onto the Mars surface. Maybe we'll have to do that. And then we will add some large parachutes. Large parachutes, where are ya? That's accessories, right? Oh, one last thing. In doing some previous gameplay testing, I realized that if I run out of power, I can't use power to generate the use the mining drill. So I was kind of stuck, so I need to add a solar panel just as a backup. Alright. So I got two large parachutes. I have some descent thrusters to help me get this thing on the ground safely. So now let's get this thing into space. So I'm going to rotate it, and then I'm going to put it in a fairing in a rocket. So let's go ahead and add another decoupler. Actually, let's combine these decouplers since I don't want to lose track of those. Add a decoupler there. Let's grab a large fairing. We'll have to go to an XL. That should do it. And then we'll go up. Good. And then we will collapse it down. Good. Collapse it down again. Good. Right there. Good. And then final. There we go. Here's our large fairing. Let's also, just thinking about this right now, let's add some reaction wheels and some batteries to this, because I know this is going to be a heavy beast of a rocket, because we have a lot of mass. So we will need some help maneuvering when the time comes. So let's add, come on, reaction wheels are in accessories. So these things will help a ton when it comes to rotating the rocket. They do require a lot of power, so we'll have to probably throw some large solar panels. Luckily our fairing still covers the entire rocket, so that worked out. Let's grab a large, oh, not you, fuel tank. 2 large solar panels. We'll just stick those on the side there. So while we're in space, we can use those to regenerate our power in our transit. Let's grab a medium vacuum engine. And this would be our primary second stage to get us to Mars. Now let's get us to orbit. That's our next goal. So let's grab a large decoupler. And then grab our T2 fuel tanks. Yeah, 2 should be enough. We'll see. We may need to go for a third, but I'm going to do some boosters on the side. That's how I like it. I'm going to do the T2 large engines, and then we're going to do the side decouplers. Let's bring them up a little bit higher. Sorry for the little bit of lag. My recording software makes it a little bit on the jerky side. Let's pop you there. There. Oh, I don't need that much. And we'll do a 3-stack with a SRB booster. And then we'll do the aero nose cone. This gives a aerodynamic bonus. And for PC users, you can press Alt to duplicate that. And there you go. I think that should be enough to get us to Mars and land safely. Let's check our staging real quick before we save and launch. So we have our side decouplers. We want those to detach at the same time. We have this guy, which will decouple the main first stage from the second stage, which is good. Then we'll have our fairing detached next, and then this will decouple the rover and its landing modules from the rest of the rocket. We have the parachutes on re-entry, and then we'll decouple, once we land it, we'll decouple the engines and delete those. So yeah, I think we're good. Let's go ahead and save. Mars Rover, not River, Rover 1. Really? I have that as a name already? Oh, I do. Mars Rover 2. Alright, let's launch. Let's go to staging. Oh. So, right now at the moment, I do not have a way to block or stop or turn off engines. The only way you can really turn off an engine is to cover them. I've been requested to add this as a feature, someday, and I will. I just have to figure out a way to make it work, because I thought about adding engines as staging, but this bar down here gets really, really long if you start doing that. So I'll have to find a good solution, because PC, not a big issue. For mobile, it becomes a space issue. So it is in the works, and it will probably come out one of the earlier updates that I'll be doing. All right, let's resave that and launch. And here we go. Full thrust. We'll keep an eye on the boosters. Once we see those running out, we will decouple those. Here we go. And I'm going to just go until right about there. Alright, now I'm going to decouple the first stage from the second. I'm going to rotate this guy. With the help of those extra reaction controls, this is way easier. So Mars is off to my left. So I want to point a little bit more than 90 degrees and then start my burn. Because what's going to happen is when I get out of the Earth gravitational well, it will go around the sun, and then I'll need to increase that to get to Mars. So I think we're about there, about 100 degrees, maybe 115 from going straight up. So we're going to increase thrust, see how my orbit changes. And what's going to happen in a second is my orbit's going to go beyond. Here we go. Let's rotate a little bit more to the right, left. I'm going to lower thrust because this is getting close to where I want to be, which is right next to Mars. Now, this isn't the most efficient. If you were a real pro, you could probably do it up here at, I think it's periapsis. But this is just a fun game. It's not meant to be a super crazy, accurate space sim. It's just meant to be fun. All right, so we're going to do, I'm going to fast forward speed, and let's head to Mars. Now would be a good time to save. Oh, let's deploy our solar panels to regen that power, because we'll need to use it to rotate our rocket again to decelerate. So yeah, alright. Save. And so this dotted line here is the Mars gravitational well. So technically I could get captured into Mars anywhere inside the space. Ideally I would do my burn when I'm closer to the planet, because it will be less speed to match the gravitational capture maneuver, I guess I call it. Let's go ahead and start rotating the rocket as needed. Let's go ahead and drop the fairing. Yeah, that looks right. Rotating. So I want to go point the opposite direction that I'm traveling. Alright, let's start our burn. It's around, at this elevation from Mars, it's around 130 meters per second I need to get to. I just know that from experience. And then I'll get captured, and right now this would be the perfect point. 120, 118, here we go. I'm going to just drop my orbit a little bit more. Alright, so I think I'm going to set it so I just skim the planet's atmosphere. Let's go ahead and save again. We can now decouple from our second stage and get ready to do our landing. And let's go ahead and close this guy because that just looks weird and ugly. Alright, let's also remove our engine blocks. The next stage would be the parachutes, which will help me orient my rocket so I land correctly, and also just help me slow me down. So we're starting our re-entry. Mars's atmosphere is very thin in this game. It's only like 10% of Earth's atmosphere, so you don't have to worry about too much of re-entry heat. Right, let's go ahead and deploy our parachutes. And and then try to rotate so that we are in the right angle. So it looks like we might land right at this plateau. Let's go ahead and turn those engines on. And we have touchdown. We've also made the achievement of landing a rover on another planet, and the achievement of landing on Mars. Alright, now we can decouple our little landing boosters here, landing engines. And then what we will do is we'll go to our active rockets, and we'll just delete the ones we don't need anymore. That would be this guy, and this guy. And here we go. We have a rover on the planet. I have power, which is my solar. I also have a fuel cell, and I also have a mining drill. So this thing should technically run infinitely. So let's just turn on our engines. Oh, wait. Hold on. Let's stop our engines. Let's get our crew out. Gotta plant our flag, of course. Re-enter the capsule. And then explore. I made this rover a little on the short side, so it may roll over the first chance it gets. And that's just poor design on my part. Trying to slow down that hill, that's why it flipped. But yeah, this is the first part of a mini-series. Next episode, I will be sending a rocket, basically like kind of like a starship, just an escape rocket, or just a way to get from Mars surface to back to Earth when needed. And then I will be sending a small base to the planet. So that should be a little bit more fun, since the base is a lot larger of an object to land. So I'd like to thank you for watching. This is Tiny Space Academy. Again, it comes out March 26th, which is this Friday. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. This really helps with the YouTube algorithm. You guys rock, and thank you for watching.